guys, happy 2026, y'all. I know it's February. But yeah, better late than never, I suppose. But yeah, we are here, and today we are going to be getting into the books that I read in 2025. So I read actually a total of 15 books this year. Honestly, not too bad. My goal was 25, but I'm glad that I read 15. So I'm gonna share all the books that I read from January to December, and yeah, let's go ahead and just get right into it. The first, of course, my earring fell out. Of course, that happened. So yeah, the first book I read was Before I Let Go. This was in January. And this is by Kennedy Ryan, and I just really enjoyed them. And they also talked a lot about how important therapy is, and yeah, I really enjoyed that. So this is a second chance romance, and she basically is she's a single mom. They're divorced, and she's a single mom right now. They do own a restaurant together, but yeah, just trying to, you know, co-parent and everything. But then as they're co-parenting, they blossom back their old relationship, and they get back into having feelings for each other. So yeah, it's really good. I love a second chance, so highly recommend. And this is also an interconnected series. You don't have to read all of them to get to the, like, for example, if you read the second book, you don't have to read the first book in order to get what's going on. But you would see like different cameos of the characters and be like, oh, you were in the other book, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, but that is the first one in that series. And what I also read in January was Poppy War. This was volume 1 in the series, and I really enjoyed that. It was going into how this girly, she was actually an orphan, and she was forced into a marriage, but instead of getting into the marriage, she studied really hard to get into this military school, and she found out that she has like secret powers and stuff like that. It was just really, really good, and she kind of gets savage at the end. I was like, okay, girl. But yeah, I'm excited for the second book. I believe it's called Dragon Republic. So yeah, I just really liked R.F. Kuang's writing in that, and really enjoyed it. It was an audiobook that I read from her, so I don't have the physical book for that. So that was January. Next, we skip all the way to April. But yeah, the first book I read there was This Could Be Us. This is volume 2, and well, this is by Kennedy Ryan. This is volume 2 in the interconnected series, and this follows Soledad and what's his name? Judah? Yeah, Judah. And I really enjoyed this one. So Soledad, she was more focused on, so there was she had an ex-husband that did her dirty, girl, did her terrible, and she was navigating, trying to love herself and really be the best mother to her daughters. And Judah was the investigator who basically put her husband in jail, but romance starts to bloom with them too. So it was really cute. I really loved the humor, her humor too. So yeah, and then there was cameos of the other characters as well, so I'm just in love with them. Yeah, because she also has kids too. I just can't remember her name, and then the love interest name I can't remember at the moment. Yasmin, yeah, Yasmin and Josiah. Yeah, Yasmin and Josiah was this one. Okay, but yeah, this was in April. That was the first book, and then this next one is A Parable of the Sower. This is the graphic novel edition. I really enjoyed this, and this is like the different pages that are in there, and it was really, it was a lot, really more dystopian than I thought, and it was crazy. Yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I really like the unique art style that came with this as well. And it's a lot more adult than I thought. Like, there's some nudity in here, there's some freaking earring. There's some really graphical images in here, sex, all that type of stuff in here, but it was still an overall good story, and seeing her point of view of what she thinks about life and everything was really interesting to read about. I really definitely want to read the next book. I believe it's Parable of the Talents, that's also in graphic novel form. So there's that, and then there's also Kendrick, that's also in graphic novel form. Yeah, I just really enjoy graphic novels. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so let's backtrack. That was not what I read in April. I actually read in April. They are all on, basically I don't own them. Two of them I had in, they were like library books, and then one of them I read an audiobook for. So one of them is When I Think of You by Maya Ariel, and I really enjoyed that. It was about a second chance romance between two like people in the film industry, and how they come together, and I really enjoyed that book. And then we got Feelings, and this was a graphic novel that went into feelings that you go through during the seasons, and it was just really calming and also really thought-provoking, and just really it does, I really relate to different feelings that I have during the seasons, and I can relate to that. And then there's Bubble, and this was a graphic novel that was set in the future. There was like different planets that they would go to, and also they basically were going on this app where because there was like monsters and stuff, they would kill monsters to get money, and it was really interesting. And then there was like a friend that would make different drugs to get money as well. So yeah, it was really an interesting book. I really enjoyed that, and that was all for April. So now let's get into July, which then we can get started with. So first I read This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan, and I really enjoyed this. Soledad and Judith's story was so cute, especially her going into her self-love journey and stuff like that, and even the romance was really good as well. So yeah. Next I have is Parable of the Sower, and this was really heavy and a lot more graphic than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, this is a dystopian. This is by Octavia E. Butler, and I'm excited to read the next book, which is Parable of the Talents. This is the graphic novel version of it, and I'm really enjoying it. Well, not enjoy it, I really enjoyed it. And I liked the unique art style that they have with this. And yeah, this was just a really nice book, and I really can't wait to read the next one. Okay, so the next book I have is Happy Land by Darlene Perkins Valdez. So she is trying, her grandmother is trying to get the land back because it was stolen by white people, and her grandmother is trying to get the land that her great grandmother had. And Nikki is a she is basically a what do they call when they sell homes? She's in real estate. She's in real estate, and she is trying to help her grandmother get the land back that her great grandmother Lulela had. So yeah, it's just really, really good. I highly recommend. Alright, so next we have is A Player's Life, and this is by this is by Ivan Hill, and this is basically about a guy named DJ and the love story between him and his childhood friend, and how how he dealt with a lot of different women, but then he basically realizes the true meaning of love, and it's just really really good. And I designed the pages, so I'm just really happy. So highly recommend. My uncle is the author of this, and please support. But yeah, I made the cover. I also read Flavor Girls Volume 1. It's like the little girl version of Sailor Moon, but it's like with fruit. So the other book I read was called Avant-Garde Volume 1. Oh yeah, Flavor Girls was a graphic novel. This is also a graphic novel, Avant-Garde. So this is actually a girl love. I didn't even realize that it was getting into that. So I'm not necessarily against it, but you know, just letting you know that that's what this book goes into. It doesn't really, it's just kind of starting with that. I thought it was just gonna be about girls who play basketball, but it goes deeper than that. So my bad, but it's still relatively a good, you know, series. So I don't know if I wasn't really that interested to continue it though. So yeah, there's that. Hungry Ghost was also a graphic novel that I read during July, sorry. And it was really good. It was talking about body, just not, no. It was talking about going into how she was basically starving herself, and it was really rough for her. It was basically what her mom instilled in her, and how she literally made herself throw up, and it was really deep. And it ended up being her healing and getting her into mental health, and it was just a really good graphic novel about that. So yeah, I read a lot in July. September I read Paradise Problem, and this was a romance, and I really enjoyed it. Especially when it got to the good part where everything hits the fan. But basically, there is a girlie, she's an artist, and there's a guy, and he's his family, well, his father is in charge of a company, a popular grocery store chain, and he basically they were married, but they got a divorce, but her parents and his family doesn't know that. So basically he's trying to make them seem like they're still married so he can have the inheritance. So it's just part of his plan, because he's going in a different direction than his father wants him to go. So the son is just basically like, I still want the inheritance money. So he has to have girly fake all of that, and you know, he has to go to his sister's wedding. She has to go with to his sister's wedding that they're having in on an island. I can't remember what island it was, but yeah. Oh man, when everything ensues, it was just so funny and so great, and the romance blooms again, and it was just so funny. But yeah, enjoyed that, and I also read that on audiobook as well. And then in October, I read A Pumpkin About You. I read this on audiobook. And there's a bit of cursing in there, but I really like how it highlighted more on neurodivergence, and the overall story was really cute, especially during the fall time. It was just a really good setting of all of that. And then in November, I read Yellowface. I also did an audiobook for this. Really crazy. June and Athena. Athena is a really good writer, and so is June. They both dream of being very popular writers. So basically they dream of being writers. And Athena dies in a horrible accident. And basically June takes her manuscript for one of her books that Athena's writing, and basically just steals everything. And everything ensues, and it's just a mess, but I loved it. I do not like June. She's terrible, but I just couldn't stop reading, and she was just trying to make it seem, oh wait, my other earring fell out too. Man, it keeps falling out. I'm just gonna take them out. Forget it. Alright. But yeah, everything ensues and it just gets messy, and she's trying to basically make it seem like it wasn't that big of a deal. She was just changing it around, and no, you literally stole her work. But yeah, this is by R.F. Kuang as well. I'm really liking R.F. Kuang, so I'm wanting to read more of her works. So yeah, really enjoyed that. So that is going to be all for this video, and that is all of the books that I read in 2025. I can't wait to get into new books coming out this year. So yeah, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and click that bell so you get notified when I post, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.